And so, yes, 'cause that was what Khaleesi was saying. It's beyond. Couldn't even. It was almost, to where it was so far, you know, beyond what was imaginable. I would say, yeah, but that wouldn't. So, what timeline was that on? That sex tape? I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say. I did get normally. Here's the thing. Normally, when I get the memory, I have them set to be time released to where when I get the memory and I speak on it, that timeline of that week, that arrival is coming up, and I'm saying this happened and that happened. That's for that timeline arrival that had not come up yet. That date for the timeline arrival hadn't came up yet. That's when I got the not for the timeline that had already the arrival had already passed. That date had already passed, but for the arrival, the date was coming up. So when I spoke on that, I think was that before this past Friday, or was it the Friday before last? I think maybe when I first spoke on it, when I first posted, it was Friday before last, and then I spoke again on it further. So it could have been where it was on more than one timeline, or all four of those timelines, and wasn't part of the 10th. I can't say, but I will say, of course, we have everything recorded to watch highest heaven, and so it may be on the phone too. I can't say. I can't say. I do remember doing the sex tape, and it did hit that internet. It broke the internet too. It did break the internet. So yeah. Yeah, we started off. There was other Khaleesi's that one was trying to go. They wanted to get in on it though. And I was like, I'm just gonna make it just because it's gonna be too. Try to make it where it ain't so long. The footage, and so I did edit it too and everything. So we had where, Khaleesi's y'all had the bag, had the whole meal and everything in there. And just, and they had that on camera and everything. So I set it over here. And, I had Khaleesi that was, and I was making sure she directed. I was looking at everything. So we had an angle set up to where everything was recorded and it could be seen. And so we did the Sim bad, man. Sims was crying, man. Straight up. Hey, Nancy. Sims was sad little bitch, man. Yeah, we doing bad with that. So we may do that again. And so, and that's why I remember when I said that. And so my Jesus Christ Facebook, there's a limit on it now on posts. And so after that, then I updated that post and I said 21/7. But I couldn't change the Jesus. So that's what's really letting me know that when I first posted that was for that timeline. And then when I updated it, that next time we had done it, we did that different with a sex tape where it wasn't my 15/5, it was the 21/7, and all three Khaleesi's, Brandy, Khaleesi Princess Love, and Khaleesi Kim Kardashian took all of that, and we had that on video too, and posted that. So yeah, we did them seem bad, man. So I mean, it's some shit. This shit is so funny, man. I'm talking about shitted on the whole world of male Sims. I'm talking about in female Sims. I'm talking about whole porno industry. I'm talking about hey man. It was Sims talking about man if so they would act like they didn't know who to do. A lot of it was like they don't know who he was, and shit like that. And so they're like, man, what does that mean for us, man? We're just regular people. So it's a whole lot of, how is that possible? And women, how is that possible? And they're still alive. So yeah, the 11th through 14th timelines. On the 11th timeline, 3 honorableness Khaleesi's arrived. So Khaleesi, my mama Tandra, was after Gia. And then 3 Khaleesi's that, I would say you were famous in some type of way arrived. And then there was 3 more honorableness Khaleesi's, and then 3 Khaleesi's that were, honorableness Khaleesi's from the area, of course, it's Texas. And then there was 3 Khaleesi's that were celebrities who were stars, famous. And then celebrity, And so I do know that on that 11th, I do remember it was Khaleesi, Zulay. Actually, it's Khaleesi Lotto first, and there was different ways where I did the arrival of Lotto, where she didn't. I hid her memory where she didn't even know I was God, I was Jesus Christ, and so we went to her backstage where her show was. They let us backstage, and we was trying to talk to her. She didn't know who and she was just like, she just thought I was, some kind of pimp or something like that. And so I gave her my YouTube. I showed her the Khaleesi Tree showed her the YouTube. Was like, nah, he Jesus Christ. She was like, he fashioned himself. So she didn't know at all. Like she didn't, and then so she was like, she ain't worried. She was just, so I was just like, nah, just let her go. And so they just both said Khaleesi Gia, Khaleesi Matandra, Khaleesi Patricia was just like, it was like she just scared. I was just like, yeah, she's scared. So she was like, ain't nobody scared. She was like, I just don't believe what y'all say. So that was just how it was supposed to go. And 2 weeks later, all of a sudden she got in touch with Khaleesi Gia. It was just like, these freaks, this is the most, it's the coldest rapping like I ever heard in my life. I ain't never heard nothing like it. It's just like, who, like, is he, he gotta be something about that. He's able to do that, and why don't nobody know nothing about this? She was like, she showed some of her people backstage, and they act like they didn't even understand what was being said in it. She said, she was like, I knew what was being said. It was the coldest rhyming that I ever heard. She was like, it was very, it was the most violent. And she was like, I ain't never heard or seen nothing that violent in a movie. She was like, so he gotta be, but she just trying to figure out, because she was like, when I did go ahead and listen to it, she was like, first I didn't want to listen to it, then I did. And then I couldn't stop listening to it. And then she said, then when I tried to lay down, I couldn't even sleep straight. She was like, it just like it did something. I couldn't even sleep straight no more. She was like, so it forced me to call. I kept hearing this weird shit. She was just like, I don't know what did happen to me now. But she was like, I know it can't be nothing, because the way these people, they couldn't even listen to it to make sense. It didn't make no sense. So she was just like, it gotta be something to this. And she was like, well, I'm coming over there, so y'all gonna have to, I need some help, because what I gotta do to try to get to where I can sleep straight, because this, she was like, this shit, I ain't gonna lie, this shit's scary shit that ever happened in my entire life. So she come, so she came to the hotel, and she was just like, she was just like, well, he didn't figure he got some kind of superpower around or something, but we kind of some kind of pill for what? She was just like, well, shit, I'm here, so she was just like, shit, if I gotta tell people I got food, and got took for all my money, then fuck it. She was like, shit, y'all in here fucking. She was like, shit, I ain't just gonna be just sitting here, so shit. That's what she said. I mean, it was funny. I'm talking about that shit was just funny. It was good, man. It was good. And I was just like, no, I'm the real Jesus Christ. Like I said in the freestyles, Alabama okay. She's like, I came in 2 weeks, so she's like, and I ain't never heard nobody say that in my whole life. She's like, so why is there a reason why I don't? They know that you and I don't. I was like, I was like, I hid your memory. I did that. She was just like, why'd you do that to me? You didn't do that to them. I was like, nah, I just did that to you. She was like, why I had to be the one who did that shit too? That was actually the day later. Like she would have had was just like shit. She fucking. She don't give a damn. She had to tell people she got took for all that money. Shit, what else? This coldest nigga shit ever in her life. That's what she gonna tell her. She don't give a damn. Like fuck it. And and so that shit was good. So I did give her a memory back, and so it's, and then I did do that a different way, where she did have a memory, and so that was all in the same timeline that I did it when I did that different, and so it was even where Khaleesi's they had a deja vu and remembered how I did that different, and even Lotto did remember how I did that. She was like, damn, I'm glad this was did where I did it, because she was like, I'm just thinking like, shit, that's fucked up. She was like, how could you even? I was like, it's for fun. It ain't that, take it that serious. She was like, damn, but don't that make me look bad? I was like, nah. So Khaleesi Tree, it's kind of like how I had with Khaleesi Tree, when she just quit, she was just like, where she was just, mystified, like she was, kind of, I ain't gonna use that word. I say she was being mystified, and so she was talking to Khaleesi's, and they were just like, do another Khaleesi need to talk to you? You still like you don't know what's going on? So Gia it was like, I don't know how she don't know. Like, is there something going on? Like, she gonna keep all us from being able to ride. So she's asking like, so is he the, this and that. And so that's how it's supposed to go. So she had talked to Khaleesi Kim Kardashian, and she was just like, he's God. Like, she, and she was just like, so is he, this and that, or how's it? And she had made Kim nervous because she was asking questions like where she didn't really understand, and and that's how it's supposed to go. And so I even had where it was the 11th, where when Khaleesi Patrice, when she first arrived, it was actually where, it was the 11th, where I went to her. Went to her apartment, and I was when she went and gave me her address, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and come to where you at. So I pulled up, and it was during the day on that one, and she got in the car, and she knew I was God and everything, and so I did it. I told her, and we talked and everything. I told her to step out of the car and close the door, and then get back in. Right there in the same, she stepped out of the car, she closed the door, and then I told her like wait like 3 seconds. She waited up 3 seconds. Then she got back in. She didn't know I was God. I just wanted to see how it feel, and she didn't know. She didn't know. So I was trying to tell her what was going on. I was like, you don't know what's going on? She was like, no. She was like, I mean, I seen how you had posted this and that, but, and I was just like, okay. Well, I'm trying to tell you, I'm the real Jesus Christ. And so I showed her some posts. She was like, I mean, you have to show me more than that. So I did, and then I was just like, well, shit, I just have to have you figure it out. You have to figure it out. I guess you have to figure it out on your own, man. It's fucked up. So it felt sad too, man. I mean, it was sad, this motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. I was just like, damn, man, this shit's fucked up. I'm like, well, let's see how I feel. I was like, well, check this out. If you get out of the car, close the door, you wait 3 seconds, and then get back in the car, all I did was hit your memory where you wouldn't know that I was. She was like, you serious? I was like, yeah. If you get out of the car, you gonna have your memory, and then you gonna know that I'm God. She was like, well, it ain't gonna take me. It ain't like I'm gonna be waiting. I'll just go ahead and try it. But I mean, I was like, yeah. Like, trust me. So she did. She got back in. She was like, you God. She was like, what just happened? I was like, I was saying I had it where it's just so I could see how she was like, how many times I get in your car? I was like, well, that was actually I would say the third time you got in the car just right now. And so there was one arrival where I had where when she got here, she went ahead and came, and it was kind of like with Lotto's where she was just like, she knew what I had posted. She just the part where fully understanding that I'm God. She really just wasn't all the way there. It's like she wasn't all the way there yet or something. Kind of like how when she was talking to Kim, and so she did go ahead and come. And then it was like when she got here, she was like, well, I'm not calling you God. I was like, you ain't gotta call me God. I mean, shit. I mean, you just like, I'm your cousin. You know what I'm saying? That's how, I wasn't gonna say that. That's how I wrote it anyway. But, and so she was like, I like how you got your beard done. I was like, yeah. So she was like, well, shit, I fuck, but I fuck, but I was like, okay, but I'm not calling you God. Okay, shit, you ain't gotta call me God. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I was like, I'm gonna, your pussy, you gonna feel like you're a virgin? She was like, I'm gonna feel like I'm a virgin. I was like, yeah. You saw where I said that? She was like, that's a good game. But I was like, okay. So then I did start putting. She was like, damn. She was like, oh my God. I was like, I thought you were gonna call me God. So I started fucking. I was hitting her with that 15. And so she was in there hollering, talking about, oh God, oh God. Oh God, I was like, damn, I thought you were calling me. You keep saying God. She was like, damn, I keep saying God. I keep calling you God. She was like, then she kept saying, you must be God. You put 15 inches of dick. How is that even possible? They kept saying, how is that even possible? So I pulled it all out. She was like, damn. She was like, I ain't never. She was like, now that's but how is that even possible? I'm about to put it back. You about to shit. He keeps saying how is that. So G, because Khaleesi Gia, cause she watching Gia, and she was just like, how was that possible? She watching Gia get fucked. She was just like, he's God. She was just like, he's really God. He must be. He putting 15 inches of dick. His dick is longer than you. He is old. And she was like, she's 14. She was like, her body is so, and your dick is so big, and her body is so. I'm like, what you talking about? As slim as you ain't. What you mean? What difference would that make anyway? You can't be thick enough to where his dick, like it's gonna mess up or something, and she was like, I was like, look, how much, what difference that gonna make? She was just like, but I'm watching. I was like, you watch. It's just a different because you watching from a different angle. She was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I'm too busy getting all of it to be able to just keep trying to watch. And so, yeah, that without going into more detail, which I got quite a bit. This is gonna be pretty long, and that's already at 50 minutes. And so this is gonna be a very long one. It's gonna be long like those ones that were very long. Now, the 12 timeline. The 12 timeline. After Khaleesi Matandra arrived, where she always arrived 2 weeks after Gia on that day. So it was the same way, and I remembered every time Khaleesi Mama arrived, it was always 2 weeks. So once after that first one, I was like, I know, okay, yeah, I remember it's gonna be 2 weeks, just like how it was last time. It's gonna be 2 weeks later every time, 2 weeks after Gia's. So that's how it was. And then on that one, Khaleesi Love Jones arrived. So it was on pretty much every single one of those. Khaleesi Gia had went to Rendezvous, because you see how, and I made that post where Khaleesi Love Jones had said that if you were looking for me, you find me at Rendezvous here in Dallas, the club. And so Khaleesi Gia, she would say, she was like, I couldn't even find her. I thought she was gonna be. I was like, yeah, but you know, so she did, and then she ended up getting in contact with her. So a lot of it was Gia that was able to get in contact with Khaleesi Lotto on the 11 timeline, and then also Khaleesi Love Jones, where she had found Khaleesi Love Jones, and so that was how Khaleesi Love Jones had arrived. It wasn't at Rendezvous. I think we even went to Rendezvous, didn't see her. And then, but she got in contact with her, probably on one of the social medias, obviously. And so, and then that next 13th timeline was that. Which one was that? Was that Khaleesi Keista? I think was the. Yeah, on the 13th timeline, Khaleesi Keista arrived. And so I want to say Khaleesi, either Patrice and Khaleesi Gia had already been in contact with her. And so it's just being able to stay in contact with her. You know, of course, how the game go. But yeah. They were actually able to get in contact with her again. And so when that happened, her arrivals, she came to the room. And either that or we wouldn't. I think pretty sure she came to the room, just like all the other Khaleesi did. Of course, by the time Khaleesi Lotto had arrived on that 11th timeline, we had a whole different. It was an extended stay somewhere. It was a whole different, bigger. It was a bigger. It was just like a efficiency apartment where we was at. Yeah, so the goings on that one. Yeah, Khaleesi Keista. And so I did that because when she got here, I was wondering why she posted that picture. I was like, man, that picture was wild. I was just like, man, I don't, you know, I was like, damn, because, you know, I took that as something negative in them before the first timeline arrival, you know, where there was something like that going on. It'd be like where, so I was just like, man, that was, you know, I was trying, but when I did post them posts, that was, you know, shit. I mean, it was further than hardcore, you know, sexually, but what I was talking about, you know, in the post, you know, I made the post about Khaleesi Patrice and the post about Khaleesi Gia. So I was like, so I mean, and the post about the miracle sex. So, but you know, with the horns, I was just trying to. She was just like, well, I thought it was cool. What I meant was like, shoot, I want you to just like, shit, I ain't shit. Just, you know, she don't want to. I'm like, well, shit, yeah, I could definitely do that. But I mean, I just didn't know. Like, I was just to based on what the picture was. So you know, I did mess with it, but I didn't say as much as I did. And so, so she was in there. So I was just like, you know, so she was just like, oh, I want to make sure that you ain't holding back. I was like, shit. I'm like, okay, I cannot hold back. I cannot hold back at all. So she was like, yeah, but what I mean is like, shit, what you saying too, not just, shit, So I was like, okay. So that's where, so I was like, so you talking about you, I was like, damn, that's, I was like, I can go ahead and I can do that though. I can do that though. She was so that's why you see where I said, daddy's little slut in that because that was what that was in the word she put it too. So that's how I knew. But I did it again. I even said it like that. So when she came, it wasn't even where it was just like where I was just like, go ahead. Take all your clothes off right now. You know what I'm saying? Lay down, put your pussy on the edge of the bed. Said you screaming and shit ain't gonna change shit. You scream as loud as you want. I said, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. So that's how that was that was different. You know what I'm saying? So you about to be a virgin, you go, this is what you about to take. Yeah. So when I pull out, get on your knees, get on your knees in there. Shut the fuck up. We put this dick out. Put this dick in your mouth. I will put as much of it as your mouth gonna take. And so that's how different hers was. Yeah, and that was just a little bit of how. That was just a little something. On the next one, Khaleesi Keisha arrived after Higgs. Khaleesi with Keisha. Higgs arrived after Gia. After Khaleesi Matanda. So Khaleesi Mama arrived on each one of those, of course. Khaleesi Mama, she lost her virginity the same way, and was taking all of that in more ways than just a pussy. And she was, yeah. Yeah, she was turned up. She was turned up on all of those. So that 2 weeks, she talked about how she was, talking to so many Khaleesi's, and you had where, Khaleesi Khaleesi Keista had went and got her outfit, and then you had where Khaleesi Teresa went and did the same thing, and we got her outfit, and yeah. Okay, so Khaleesi Keista was like, is there something else you want me to do? I'll do something else for you. She was like, well, damn, bitch, you fine. You could go ahead and eat this pussy. Then she was like, so she looked at me. I was like, so she went, got right on it. It got right on it right here on that side of the bed. And so Teresa's right here was like, damn. So I said, get done. So she was just like, you can eat my pussy too if you want to. So I was like, so she was like, oh, well, shit, I didn't know. Shit, I was just trying. So she was like, nah. I'm like, not right after that. Nah. She was talking to Khaleesi. Shit, you gonna have to wait. He was like, well, shit, you can't just feel shit. I was just trying to see. I was like, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with trying to see that. Like, I just did that because that's Khaleesi in my mind. Like I said, was this something she want me to do? I was like, yeah. So. See now, okay, it's at 1 hour and 1 minute, so that ain't that long. So yeah, Khaleesi, Rikisha, she be saying, she be like, the Joneses, she be like, why I had to be the one? I just like, when Khaleesi had to be, she was just like, damn. And so she was like, I knew. She said, I knew you was gonna post that picture. I was like, this. She was like, I couldn't even take the picture down. That's the only picture, and it had Joneses. You been saying T Joneses. And she just said, I knew you was gonna post that picture. I was like, it's coming. He gonna post that. And then I was like, there it is. She's like, you had to have that in one picture. That's the only picture she had that in there. So that was part of the, You Can't Believe It's Not Butter. And so her and Khaleesi love Jones. Were virgins when they arrived. And fucked, and it was like they was, unbelievably painless is what they were saying. So that recovery period is what, because it's like once that out here, it's just like, yeah. So that's how it is. That's how it was with all the Khaleesi's, really. I'll say, really like once we get past the first week or so, like 45 minutes. So it's a lot different than the other timelines. Now I'm gonna get to my points that I had listed. Okay, that was one of the points I had listed. All my Khaleesi's messaging and calling me, and I can't receive the calls or the message. Okay, I know all my Khaleesi's been trying to message and call me for over a year on Facebook Messenger. My phone numbers, I post phone number you're getting from me from other Khaleesi's. And no, I'm not. And it will say on a lot of y'all that it was sent or that the call went through everything and it went to. I'm not getting out a voicemail. I'm not getting a text. Nothing. And so right now, on this timeline, the only call or text I've gotten on this timeline has been that text from Khaleesi Patrice. And so when I do message though, the Khaleesi's do get my messages though. Khaleesi Gia, Khaleesi Patrice, and Khaleesi Keista as well. I got the messages. And Khaleesi's that Oh, yeah, that's right. Khaleesi Helen Sukenzi. I put that in there. I put that in there though. Where I talked about that, how Khaleesi Gia. There was actually, I mean, Khaleesi, my mom was with us. We actually flew up there. Is the thing. We flew. So there was Khaleesi, Carrie Ann Moss hadn't learned how to fly yet. And so there was maybe 7 Khaleesi's that stayed when we flew up there. So which time it was, man, yeah. But we flew up there. We flew up there. So I want to maybe in 5 Khaleesi's that flew up there with me. And so when we flew up to Toronto, I think, yeah, Toronto, flew up there to Canada, all the way from here, of course. And they sat on the couch, and then, she said that they could watch, and they was like, "Well, we ain't gonna watch it. We let her on her first time, go ahead and do her thing." So Khaleesi, Patrice, and Jill was like, "I'm watching. This bitch bad." So I watched. So they stood around the bed, and walked around and walked around. So I fucked her, and they just kept changing direction. I was like, "Can y'all, dang, get a different direction right there?" So they walked that way and got another direction. I was like, I mean, can y'all see her face from that direction? Like, yeah, we can see her face whenever yeah, them strokes you so long, you have to go, we can see her. I was like, all right, because, they was behind, I'm like, well, come this way to the side. They was at the foot of the bed, but anyway. Yeah, so, of course, we took a plane with her. Or she took a plane. I want to say one of the Khaleesi's flew with her on the plane, and the rest we flew back. We flew through the sky with our power flying, and came back. So when I started flying, it was pretty fast. It was pretty fast. Yeah, I'd say about 2 months after arrival, I started flying. So we're looking at May, June. So yeah, it was in there. Pretty much how it was on the other timelines. That's about around the same week that I started flying on the other timelines. So just that the Khaleesi's, that they started flying it was like maybe a week or 2 after I started flying, 2 weeks after I started flying. Khaleesi's Matiner, Khaleesi Gia, Khaleesi Patrice started flying, and so that's pretty much how it went on the other timelines as well.